Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be going over how to do a martello. You may know it as a roundhouse. Now martello means hammer, so we're going to drop some hammers here. From ginga, we're going to use our back foot for this one, okay? So here, 1, 2, 3. Now, as I'm bringing my back foot up, I'm going to bring my foot up. I'm also going to shift my base leg so that my foot is pointing as far back as possible. This is so that I don't have any pressure on my knee as I do this kick. So here, boom. Notice that I'm not chambering super high right now, but my foot is pointed back. And then I'm going to point my toes out, extend my kick, breathing out as I do, chamber it back, and rotate back. All right. With the roundhouse, you want to strike right about here. You don't want to necessarily use the top of your foot. It gives a nice satisfying smack sound, but there's also a lot of bones in your foot. And if you don't purposefully train your foot for that impact, you could injure yourself. The shin bone, easier to strike with, much more durable than the bones in your foot. So we land here, and we're going to do the other side. Again, we're not aiming for height just yet. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Back foot is going to come up. I'm going to pivot on my base foot. Boom. I've got this nice and chambered. I'm going to kick through, back, and here. And in this instance, instead of pulling my toes towards me, I was pointing my toes to make sure that I don't actually strike with my toes. Some martial arts will curl their toes back and strike here with the ball of the foot. We are not one of them. We point the toes, strike with the shin. All right. So now we are going to do a couple more, nice and smooth. And I'm going to give you a tip in case you're losing a bit of that balance. All right. So 2 more here, then we'll go into the tip. 1, 2, freeze. Up and chamber, kick through, back, and down. Good. Remember, you're coming across the side. 1, 2, 3. Up and chamber, rotate. Again, your base leg needs to be pointed backwards. Kick through, back, and down. Now, if you're really struggling with some balance on that, no worries. It's weird. It requires a lot of balance. What you can do is you can find a wall or some other surface that will give you support. And so here, I'm gonna go up, rotate, and I'm holding on to this for support, which allows me to get my balance. I can probably reach up a little bit higher because the lower my torso gets, the higher my kick can go, right? Like your body's a lever. So it's not that I'm really opening up my hips super wide. Frankly, I don't have that level of flexibility. But if I lower my torso, my kick will go higher than if my torso is up. All right, see? So you can work on your balance by getting a little bit of that support here and kick through. And you can go to the other side as well. Back here, up and rotate, touch the wall, or get your hand on it for a little bit of support, and kick through. Good. Now you could do this as much as you want until you become comfortable with the kick and comfortable with that balance. And then you can start doing it stand alone. It's also really good to build up those muscles on the outsides of your hips so that you can get used to throwing multiple martellos. We're gonna do 2 more martellos together. I want them to be nice and clean. And one other little tip for your martello is as you throw your kick, you don't want your kick to end at the target. So if you're trying to kick me in the face, if you're coming from this direction, don't aim here. Aim here, through my head. That way that you don't have to put as much effort into it and you can still deliver a much more powerful kick. Same thing if you're aiming for my ribs. Don't aim here if you're coming from this direction. Aim here so your foot travels all the way through. Again, if you aim here It'll give a satisfying smack sound, but it's not gonna have the same power and have the same potential as if you were to point it all the way through. So practice doing that now by choosing a spot and kicking through it. You could tell you can kick through it by where your knee is placed. So, 2, 3, martelo. I'm gonna put my knee through you, my target, so that I kick off to the side. Remembering to breathe out as we go. All right, one more martelo. 1, 2, 3. Great, good work. Now, with martelos, depending on the context of the capoeira game that you are playing, depends on where you throw them. In capoeira, you do not strike the legs, the knees, or the shins with a martelo. That's for a later day, a later lesson. In a capoeira game, your martelo should be for the ribs or for the head. That's how it can be still seen as a game context and not a fight context where you might be getting yourself into something you might not be ready for yet. So ribs or head, or if you're not super flexible, they'll understand if you just kick as high as you can, okay? But don't aim for the legs, knees, or the shins. With that, keep practicing your martelos. Again, use a wall or a chair or something for support until you can get that balance, and I'll see you in the next video.